Welcome back to Lane Switching. Today we're here. We're at U Ottawa
Yes,
campus, and I'm
sir.
here with a new up and coming group in the nation's capital of Ottawa. We got House of K in the building. So let's just
Thanks,
go
man.
down. Let's go down the line. Introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about yourselves, just
Yeah,
each one by one.
what's good? What's good? My name is Majin Ziad. I go by Lord Babidi sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm 20 years old, and yeah, man, I make dope music.
Bro, the name Cree Santana, I hope y'all will, keep that on your brains. Uh, bro, we here to make music that make you move. Yes, sir. I'm 21 years old, only getting older, only getting bolder. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah. I'm Matthew. Uh, I'm 19. Yeah. Yeah, I be out here, yeah.
Smoking weed?
No.
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 Yeah. So again, one by one, give us a little introduction. Like, tell us a little bit about your upbringing. Early life of music, all that kind of stuff.
Want me to go first? All right, so I guess I was raised in South Africa. My dad is Nigerian, my mom is South African. Um, I grew up in the church, so I've been always around music. I was in elementary school singing in the choir. You know what I'm saying? So I've been practically raised around it. My dad can sing. Both my parents were in the choir. Found that out quite recently. But, so I like to think that the music shit runs deep in my veins. Uh, I moved here when I was 11, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been wanting to do music ever since I can remember. I was like 8 years old calling myself Lil Sean because I like Big Sean and Lil Wayne. Bro, so like, you know what I'm saying? I've been thinking about doing music, but the time that came to putting my feelings on a track and recording it came last year, thanks to Majin Ziad. Yeah, shout out to Majin Ziad. Yes, sir. I think that's all I can say for myself, other than, you know, what's uh what's written for the future.
Uh, in terms of myself, I was born in Cameroon, Yaoundé, Cameroon. That's the nation's capital. Um, my parents and we moved here when I was about 3 years old. We moved to Calgary, so I basically had my whole childhood being Calgary and stuff like that. I always loved music since I was about like 6, 7 years old. I always loved to sing, dance, rap, and all that. You know what I'm saying? We moved around a lot from the time I was like in the eighth grade. So from the eighth grade and on, we moved to Newfoundland and then to Hamilton, Ontario.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying, and then all the way to now we're in Ottawa and stuff like that. And I'm staying here for school. And yeah, so yeah, I've been making music since I was about like I've been recording music and putting it on SoundCloud and YouTube and stuff like that since I was about like 13,
Wow.
right? But I've been taking it seriously at around 15, and yeah, since then, bro, I just been working on getting better and better, and
Yeah. Very
you know what
cool.
I'm
Very
saying,
cool.
just taking it one level at a time. You know
For
what I'm saying?
sure. For sure.
Dope shit, dope shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so I also had a upbringing in the church. My grandma, like, to this day, like, she'll always play like gospel music in the house and stuff. So I always had that. Um, when I wanted to do music myself was probably in like middle school, because I have a cousin. He's like he's like 30 some. He's married now. But like I was in middle school and he was like, because he's in Toronto and he was doing music. And I thought he was like the coolest guy in the world because he had these music videos with like the car and the girls, you know? So it's like, damn, if that can get me a girl, like, and I was always like creating stuff. I was always making stuff as a kid too. Like I'd be drawing and stuff. So it was like another thing to be creative in. So like I tried it and I never stopped. And yeah, we keep going.
What's your cousin's name? Who makes music?
His name's Kyle. Shout out Kyle. Yeah. Shout out Kyle.
I gotta listen to Kyle, bro.
Yeah. Shout out Don Pappy. That's his name.
Oh,
Don
You
Pappy.
should have said that first, bro.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. So for all y'all, how long have you been making music?
For me, like, I think I made my first song like grade 8. Yeah.
I made my first song like last year. It was a song with him. It's called "Don't Be Coy." It's on our most recent project together. It's called. That was my first song. That the project that I released on SoundCloud, I don't consider it like a body of work because of how unprofessional it sounded. So "Don't Be Coy," first song. I came to him. I was like, "Yo, bro, I need you to bless me with a verse." I think you freestyled it, right? He freestyled it and he gave me one of the best verses I've ever heard on a beat like that. But when it come to when it come to the music, bro, I started off with beats. I started making beats when I was 16. Um, the program or the DAW that I started using just showed up on my computer. And before I knew it, I was in love with making beats to the point where my dad would be like shouting at me to do my homework. So music has always kind of taken a front seat in my life. Yeah. Then last year started making music for the first time, like actually recording it. But I've been writing for as long as I've been making beats. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I started when I was 13. For me, like, what's it called? I was always like the youngest in my class, so I was 13, but I was in the 9th grade.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I still remember the month too. I started November of 2018. That's when I first started making music. My first song was on a Lil Yachty type beat called Text Back. It's fucking shit. It's the song isn't good. It was called Hidden Leaf Village. I still wish I had it up on SoundCloud just to see like the progression. I don't have it, bro. It's crazy. I don't have the song, bro. Like, yeah. But yeah, that was my first time making music. Before that, I didn't know that just anyone could make music. Up until I also have a cousin. Who did music, right? Back when I was a jit, right? Shout out Stefan News. You know, he was making crazy music in Calgary, bro. He had like a little buzz going on back then.
Dope.
Right? And yeah, when I moved to Newfoundland and I told him, "Yo, I want to make music," he was there like, "Yeah, just do it." And I started making it on GarageBand on my iPhone, right? Using the Apple headphones and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And it sounded like shit. I didn't know how to mix and stuff like that, so it just sounded like crap. And then yeah, when I was around 15 was when I started taking it seriously. And yeah, I started making beats at 17. And yeah, I would say I only started getting good at music at around like 16 years old. That's when I started getting good. That's when I started like knowing that, yo, this is how I can flow. This is how I can change like vocal inflections. I started listening to more and more music too. I've always listened to a lot of music, but like it was around like 15, 16 that I really started to listen to like music attentively and like be like, oh shit, this is a chord, this is a da 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 da, and this is that. So yeah, that's really like when it started to happen. And then from there on, I just kept on focusing to the point where like that's all I could think about, you know?
Yeah.
And then yeah, that's it.
That's super cool. So this is a question just for you, Majin. A lot of the singles or a lot of the audio you release on YouTube, if people haven't checked it out already, a lot of thumbnails use cartoons.
Yeah.
Like cartoons and shit. Do you find there's any influence from cartoons in your music?
Yeah, of course. What's it called? Bro, I've always loved cartoons, bro. Ever since since I was like around like 6 was when I found out about a Canadian channel called Teletoon.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
And bro, Teletoon, bro, I would spend all day on there, bro. All day, every day. The second I got home from school, I'd be on there. The second I'd wake up on a Saturday morning, I'd be on there. My mom would be hella mad because I'd spend all day on TV. But yeah, I'd watch Johnny Test, Jimmy Two Shoes, Wayside, fucking bro, you know Wayside, bro? Bro, it was so fire, bro. But yeah, Johnny Test, Jimmy Two Shoes, Wayside, fucking Courage the Cowardly Dog. You know what I'm saying? There was a show called Kid vs. Cat. That was hard. Tom and Jerry. You know what I'm saying? SpongeBob. Bro, I would watch not only Teletoon, but like Cartoon Network, Family Channel, Disney XD, everything, bro. I'd be watching everything. And through there you learn a lot of life lessons. Like it's not like in your face, but like you learn a lot of life lessons that you can take even as an adult. Even as I grew up, I watch cartoons all the time because what I'm saying it's just an escape from reality. And yeah, once you start relating to the characters and start truly taking the character arcs into heart and putting them in perspective, right? You realize that, oh, I'm not that different from Johnny Test. I'm not that different from this, right? Just put into certain situations. And when I make my songs and my music has like certain situations to it, right? I can relate it to this character, and there's a frame that can be used for this song. So that's when I started to do it. I started to do it back when I was like watching Naruto, and then I started using a lot of Naruto for my cover arts and stuff like that. And then yeah,
very cool. Well, is there a certain cartoon? Could you say you have a favorite cartoon?
Favorite cartoon, bro? That's hard. That's hard. Family Guy's not my favorite cartoon, bro. It's fire. It's not my favorite cartoon. Avatar. That's one of them. Last Airbender. Legend of Korra is alright, but Avatar: Last Airbender is cool. Is very fire. The Boondocks, bro. The Boondocks is so good, bro. Yeah. Black Dynamite, fucking Adventure Time, Adventure Time, The Amazing World of Gumball, bro. Regular Show, fucking. Oh my god, it's just a lot. It's just a lot to name.
For sure.
I'm more so an anime person than I am a cartoon person. But nigga, Teletubbies, nigga. nah, bro. But yeah, bro, I'm more so an anime person than a cartoon person. But yeah, in terms of my favorite cartoons, is mostly like Adventure Time, Amazing World of Gumball, and stuff like that.
Okay, sick. And Creed, this is a question for you. What made you recently decide to start dropping music? Because correct me if I'm wrong, but pre-dropping music, you were more of or pre-being an artist, you were more of a producer.
I think it just came from. I mean, I always wanted to record music. It was just like a confidence issue, if you want to call it that. It was like me not knowing how other people are going to receive me. I think I let that get in the way of me dropping music for a little bit too long, because I think the first time I got myself a mic was 3 years before I actually started dropping music. Obviously, the mic wasn't like a good mic, but I had the idea of dropping music. But it was just, I don't know. I feel like y'all know how people be talking about people who drop music. Like, ugh, he make music too? Yeah. Bro, what's his SoundCloud? I listen to it, So I didn't want to be that guy who is like, hey, bro, listen to my song. And everybody is just like, okay, we'll listen to it. And they get home and they just like, man, I'm not going to listen to that, bro. I just told him I'm going to listen to it because, he a cool dude or whatever. But I'm not listening to that shit. But, eventually, I've gotten to a point in my life where I don't want to be cheating myself out of destiny because I care what people think. I want to put myself in a position to win because this is the way I want to do it, regardless of what people want me to do. And I guess, yeah, that's the way I've always seen it, especially right now.
That's it. And Matthew's question for you. Yeah. What I found when I was listening to a lot of your music, it's kind of like nostalgic type beats, like almost like a lot of old school beats and shit like that. So for you, what makes you gravitate towards more like old school hip hop, more almost nostalgic feeling, giving you the feeling of nostalgic type beats?
I don't know. I just like them soul samples. I just like those samples. Like, I don't know. I think it's really cool when you can like look at something from like, something like random. Like you can go to anywhere in the world at any time and you can make it like new and modern and like yours and personal. Like bro, you can go to like 1945 Serbia and they're singing their heart out and you don't even know what they're saying. Yeah. They could be singing about like pain and death, but I don't know. It sounds good, so I'm gonna sample it. And like, I think it's really cool when I think it like makes the sonic palette it creates too is very interesting. You can do a lot with it, and it's like it really stands out. Like
soul samples have some of like the richest sound.
Yeah, it has rich
It
sounds.
always sounds like full, and just always like you're doing something with it. My bad. I was just
No, you're
yeah,
good.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
good.
But yeah, no, just soul samples always just sound like it could be the instruments, it could be the way they stack the vocals. R&B samples do this too, but yeah, bro, the harmonies sometimes just the way that they mix their vocals, right? When you sample them and when you chop them up, right, you can make it just sound warm. You know, I don't know how to necessarily like describe the feeling in music terms, but it just sounds warm. It sounds like a big hug, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you can make it melancholic, you can make it nostalgic, you can make it it creates its own atmosphere. That's exactly that's what I was getting to.
You can also make something that wasn't there originally. Like how you manipulate a sample. Like you can pitch it up and down, you can reverse it, you can turn it into something completely separate from what the original song was. Yeah, the process, but also the result too, cuz it's like when you make when you take something else and make it in a new way, it's like creating its own brand new thing. Like it's like you know when you chop a sample enough to where it's like a whole new melody. Like
the way you manipulate the chops.
yeah, that stuff is like that's pretty beautiful. So
You can even make them say phrases that weren't originally in the sample.
Yeah.
You know, you can manipulate it so that if someone says, for example, I love flowers or something, right? You can chop it in a way to whereas the sample just says I love, right? And after you can just do so much with samples, right? That I don't know, just the way that you can manipulate them is very cool. You know, so soul samples especially, they're just nice.
As a group, I find you're very in sync in like how you think about music and what you want to kind of put out there. It's very similar. So, kind of give the audience a backstory. How did House of K come together?
Initially, first off, he was the one that started it. But like initially, I had met him because my first year of university, I was at Carleton, studying computer science. Bro, he did not fuck with me at first. I met him through through another friend. Shout out Jason. He just hated the fact that I was just a positive person, bro. I was just out here vibing, right? We would go to the gym together at school, and and over time he would just like, oh shit, you make music, I make music too. And after for a while, for like about a year ish, right, we just kept each other at a distance, not on purpose, but just like, you know what I'm saying, we didn't, you know, it ain't nothing be happening. And then after, out of nowhere, he hits me up and he's there like, yo, do you want to make a collective? I'm thinking of like, you know, I'm thinking of doing taking a bunch of artists together. I know you make music and I fuck with your music. Like, let's work and let's make this a thing, right? So initially the collective was about like 6 people, right? Eventually, unfortunately, some things couldn't work out. You know, some people had like different motives, different intentions. You know, some people were focused, but eventually, we met Matthew. Did I meet you just last semester? Yeah, bro. We met each other. We met each other last semester, but I'm pretty sure we knew about each other beforehand. But we met each other last semester, just passing, right in front of the Desmarais building. He just went up to me and was there like, "Yo, are you Majin Ziad?" I was there like, "Yeah." How do you know me? He says, yeah, my boy told me about you. I fuck with your music. I make beats too. I do this. I was like, all right, that's cool. Send me your beats. I'll hit you up if I fuck with it and shit. And then, you know, obviously I fuck with it, and I fucked with the way that he makes content. He films his own shit. He edits his own shit, right? And it feels, you know, it feels very organic, and it feels like he got a genuine love for it. And that's like a thing that I like to gravitate towards. I like people who are students of the game. You know, the way Santana does his vocals, does his beats, bro. This nigga, first off, this nigga is one of the best producers like I've ever like got to know up close. He's really good. You know what I'm saying? And he does it damn near effortlessly. You know, his workflow is very effortless, right? And I like that about him, and it's because he studies his influences, you know. And once you have a good wide range of reference points and influences, you just eventually start making the shit that you like, you know. And it just sounds nice, and that's what Matthew's been doing. That's what I've been doing. That's what Isaiah's been doing, and yeah, that's since then we've all just collectively was there like, I will make this a thing. He came up with the name House of K, and that's really it.
So recently, what was it? Was it just last year? I think the two of you dropped a collab album. Imagine and Creed, you guys just dropped a collab album that is called Squared on the Hypotenuse.
Yeah.
Posh Life.
Yeah.
So explain a little bit about that album. How did that come together, and just everything about it?
Okay. So I think what came, like, it was a product of me and Ziad actually just making the effort to make music together and do it in a way that we're not sending each other audio versions of what we did. We're actively working on it together. You know, he will press record, and I'm gonna step into the microphone and just record what I gotta do. And I think it was like the entire year we just worked through that entire project, and we only got to finish it around the beginning of last semester. But I don't know. I can only speak for myself, but I enjoyed the process because I don't know. It was my first time working with someone on a song, you know, like an actual collab, and it was what the result was a collab album. The name itself, it's I don't know if any one of y'all know Asterix and Obelix.
Asterix and Obelix,
yeah. So there's this movie where they're in Rome, and they're trying to get rid of them. They're like, the Romans are trying to get rid of all the Gauls, so they be like drinking the potions and trying to like stand their ground. So one of the guys who's in charge of building all of the establishments and stuff, his name is actually squared on the hypotenuse, and it's because his nose is like a triangle, but it's like, you know, those like potato noses in the cartoons. Yeah. So that's his name, and when I thought of that, I was like, that's a nice name, but I'm gonna stylize the name and the way we write it into a way that looks like it could be like the coolest album you could listen to.
And like how I knew that like Square on the Hypotenuse was gonna be the name of the thing is that like just on my free time I was watching Family Guy, right? And on the earlier seasons there was a clip where it was like, you know how like they do cutaways and stuff like that, right? It was a clip where the teacher in that cutaway was saying, so the square of the hypotenuse is doing this, and I was there like, any questions? And I was there like, oh, bro, I'm gonna sample that, and we're gonna use that as the intro because that's hard, you know. And and also the process for making the tape was very it was very organic, because initially we weren't thinking of making a tape. We were just making, for example, Don't Be Coy. I was just hopping on that song. Because I liked the song, right? And eventually we just made more music, and it sounded cohesive. It sounded like it didn't sound too far off from each other. You know, it sounded like it could be a body of work if we actually take the time to like sequence it a certain way and stuff like that. So that's what we did. And we just kept making songs. At first, we were starting to record at my house, but as the school year started, we started recording in this room, and that's when really like recording in this room became a thing, you know. And yeah, that's how it went down.
That's sick. Let's speak a little bit about another single that just recently dropped. Freaks Come Out at Night. That's your track, and that's featuring Matthew.
Yeah.
How did that track come together?
Bro, at first I was just looking for beats to make a remix to, because I like to make remixes just to challenge my pen and work on my pen. You know, I like to make remixes of artists I already like. So recently, for example, like this month, I made a remix of All Cast by MF Doom, right? So I like to make remixes. That's what I like to do. The beginning stages of Freaks Come Out at Night was originally a remix of Don't Like by Chief Keef, right? I was rapping on that beat, and Isaiah heard it, and he was there like, yo, you know You don't have to like make it a remix. We can work on it and make it. I can make an actual beat for you so that you can rap on it. So it was his beat, and yeah, he sent me the beat. At first, I was iffy on it, and after I listened to it again, and I was just like, "Yo, what was I iffy about? This beat is amazing, right?" And after I just rapped on it, and it flowed perfectly. It was cool, and I finished the first like demo of it, right? I showed it to Matthew, right, and I was there like, "Yo, I think you'll glide on this, right?" And not like I wasn't surprised at all. He went on it, he slid, he did his thing, and yeah, the song is just dope, you know.
For sure. Matthew, speak a little bit about your feature. You know, how was that hopping on? And it's I guess a true House of K with the production of Creed and both of y'all on it.
Yeah.
How was hopping on the track?
It was really I think I heard the beat like on the day I met you. Yeah, the day I met this guy, we were in CRX. Yeah. and he played the beat. I was like, it had I heard the, what was it, the sirens at the start? Mm-hmm. That part like was like, damn, this is crazy. Yeah. And yeah, that same day, I think that same night I went home and I wrote to it, cause like I was like, yeah, I need to like, I need verse back quick. Yeah, like it was.
This guy works hella quick. If he says he's gonna hop on a verse, he does it like instantly. You know, I like that about you.
But bro, that beat is so good. Like I still like listen to it, and I still pick up on something that I like. Like it's like, the more I listen to it, the more I like appreciate something in the beat that like I didn't pay much attention to before. It's like layered like that. Yeah. And it like transitions, like it's very fluid.
You're really good at doing that.
It's like a masterclass of a beat. It's like, bro, come on, bro.
Oh shit. I mean, bro, what can I say about the beat that y'all ain't already said? I mean, the most I can say is that it was a really simple beat, to be quite honest with you. I think there are like 8 sounds that I used, just like including the chords, the horns. The horns was a sample, so calling back to the sampling question, it shows you how far you can go with a sample, you know? It's I don't know, I've gotten into sampling quite recently, so that beat was a nice way to like introduce myself to it. I'm glad that what I made came out as good as it did. The beat, I know he won't say it because he's too modest and humble to say it, but the beat is more so a collaboration between me and him, because there was a way I made the beat and there was a way he wanted me to make the beat. And the reason I say it's a collaboration is because when he has an idea for the structure of the beat, that's already a credit right there, you feel me? So it's really a Majin Ziad and Creed Santana beat, if you really want to call it that. Right? There was like the chords that dun 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 dun, the chords, they were there for like almost the entirety of the song. But then he was like, nah, you gotta switch it up a little bit. So then I changed it up, sent it back to him, and he started working on it. So, you know,
that's
our
sick.
Great first collaboration.
That's sick. So Creed, one last question for you is would you consider yourself, if you had to label yourself as a creative, would you consider yourself an artist producer, or now that you've been releasing music where you're the vocals on it, or would you say you're now just strictly an artist?
I would like to say strictly an artist, because an artist producer, it sounds very limiting, you know? Like, the one thing that I'll truly be known for is the beats that I make. And I'd like that to be at the forefront of what I do, but I want it to be in a way that it's contributing to the lyrics that everyone's listening to, you know? Like, if anyone is gonna say they love this about Creed Santana, they'll say they love my production, but they're not gonna say that they love me making beats for other people, like Pharrell or Metro Boomin or someone. These are people I look up to, but, you know, in terms of how I want my music that I personally work on to sound.
Yeah, bro, I get that. That's totally fair. And one last question for Matthew is that last year you dropped 2 projects, both called short films.
Oh, yeah.
Is the second short film a deluxe, or just almost like when people were more like in physical copy buying albums, almost like a second half?
Oh, yeah. So funny story about that one. You talking about the one with like the night cover and the one with the other cover?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so the night cover one, that's like that one was a mistake by Spotify. Like so like when I submitted to like platforms, right? I had I had I think it was like I finished the project and then I submitted, right? And I had the date set and everything. But then like at the last second, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna change this song here. So then I did that, right? And I ended up changing the cover too. But I guess it didn't register with Spotify for some reason. So I guess like both submissions went out. But, you know, it's there.
And you'll keep the second one that you previously dropped. You'll just keep it out because why not?
Yeah, I'll just keep it because, you know, like I had people tell me like they listen to it and they like that version too. So it's like, why take it from him, you know? Yeah.
For sure, for sure. And this is another question for the whole group. Living in Ottawa, it's a little different than a lot of, you know, big major hip hop cities in the sense that it's like, I wouldn't say too much. I guess we're closest if you're talking about major hip hop cities. New York, of course, we're probably the closest to. But do you find that living in a city with 4 seasons, do you find that affects your music, whether it's the creativity of it or almost the limitations, because it's like 1 second it's the winter and the summers are short? Do you find that the weather out here and living in a city with 4 seasons, do you find it affects the way you make music?
Of course.
Damn.
Yeah. Bro, I feel like especially with the wintertime, we have very long winters, right? I feel like because of like the ambience and the ominous vibe of this season, right? I gravitate a lot towards like darker sounding music. And whenever I'm in like a bad mood or stuff like that, I tend to listen to that kind of music a lot. And because of that, that influences my music a lot. Freaks Come Out at Night, for example, I fully like when I heard that beat, I was there like, oh, okay, this has to be called like Freaks Come Out at Night. I added that line after I heard the beat because it just sounded like something that you would hear just in a dark setting, you know. And during the time that I was recording that, I was listening to a lot of Travis Scott. I was listening to a lot of
I was gonna say, because isn't it Sway Lee?
Yeah,
Sway Lee.
it's Sway Lee that said it.
Which
It
track
was
was
Nightcrawler.
that? Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like I was listening to a lot of Travis Scott, Big Sean, The Weeknd, who else? Brent Faiyaz. Just a lot of people who have like very, very rich but dark sounding music, you know. And I feel like that affects me a lot. And during the summertime too. During the summertime, I tend to listen to who's a good summertime artist?
Barney. What he said?
This nigga said Barney, bro. This nigga said Barney though. No, okay, but for real though, like Steve Lacy, Sway Lee, Tyler. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like Tyler, especially for the three of us, he affects our music a lot.
Which makes sense because Tyler obviously is an LA-based artist. So
yeah.
Growing up where it's like summer all year round,
sunny weather, all of that, you know. And it affects not only our music, but I think it affects our style too, the way we carry ourselves. It just, you know, just like we're very aesthetic based, you know. So we like to match the aesthetic with whatever's going on. You know, but we like to add our own spin to it, in a way. Did I say that right? I said that right? You want to add something?
You want to say something?
Sure.
That's all I gotta
Sure.
think. Yeah.
How does the 4 seasons affect how I make music?
Is there something that you would drop on like a, you know, in the winter that you would save for the summer?
I don't like I've dropped way more music in like spring to summer than like winter. I feel like winter, like I used to like, ironically, like hibernate.
Yeah.
You know?
You hear it a lot though in his music though. His music is very like sunny and sunshiny and stuff. Like that. It comes from the soul samples, bro.
But yeah, like I think cause like yeah, usually like fall, winter, I'll just be like in my room just making stuff, like redetermining like how I want to approach my sound, and then I'll be like, okay, this summer like I'll go crazy and drop again. So like, yeah, I don't know.
No, that's fair. That's fair. And just as we close out this interview, you know, it's January. It's the end of January. This interview will probably come out sometime in February. But for y'all, you know, as a collective and individually, what do you have planned for this year, music-wise?
For this year, we want to be everywhere. When it comes to Ottawa music, we want to be performing in the summer. We want to be dropping music as consistently as possible. Every month you will be hearing something from us. And that goes for each and every one of us, be it production, be it a song. But I think primarily you'll be hearing songs from us every month. Right, guys?
Yeah.
Every month. We're trying to meet as many people in the city as possible, trying to make friends. So if you want to be our friend, come on out.
What's up, man?
Yeah, House of K, we friendly. Ask Miss McLeod. But yeah, we just want people to know our names. We want to cement ourselves in this city. If anything, we want to be, I know this sounds very cocky, but we want to be on top of everything. Yeah. We want to be at the forefront of this music scene. We want to be taken seriously when it comes to this music. We don't want no half-ass shit. We don't want people who do half-ass shit. When it comes to how we work, whoever is coming to work with us, they have to work as well as we do. So for this year, you can imagine you'll be coming to one of our shows this year. Yeah. Whoever's watching this, I know you'll be there.
For sure. And for the people, obviously, they want to check out your music. They want to check out what you guys going on individually. Where can they find you on social media?
On social media, we're all on Instagram, Majin Ziad, Creed Uptown, Clickbait Mullings. You know what I'm saying? We're all on Twitter. We're all on YouTube. We're all on Spotify. We're all on SoundCloud. We're everywhere. We're gonna make a website soon, so we're gonna have that too. Bro, we gonna even start talking to people on campus, bro. We're trying to be everywhere. Really, our accessibility, like we're trying to just try to connect with as many people as we can, especially locally. That's really our goal because for the past, at least like I can talk about from my experience, right? I get better and better and better with music, but what's it called? My audience doesn't necessarily grow.
Sure.
And I get a lot of frustration from that, right? So this year especially, I'm gonna make the extra effort to truly connect with people, have them listen to my music, not just begrudgingly, but just like actually just listen to my music and pay attention, you know? And that goes for all three of us, you know? We're really just trying to connect with people.
For sure. So it seems like y'all have a really good plan, and you know, if you executed this year, you know, a lot of good things are to come, but
yeah.
You know, everybody, you know, thank you very much for sitting down.
Thank you for having us. Man.
Thank you very much for taking the time out of the day and do this.
Thank you too.
Again, one last time, this is Majin Ziad, Creed Santana, and Matthew Mullings.
Yes, sir.
Go check out their music. That was the Lane Switch Day interview with House of K. Peace, y'all.
We out.
We out.